Zero ground beef available of any kind. That's what one school in Illinois found. Canned meat suddenly jumps in price in multiple places across the U.S. Lettuce troubles and more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. These are your reports coming in from all around the world about what you guys are seeing at your stores, at your workplaces, and elsewhere. If you have a report that you'd like to share with us, please use the comment section. Just put a comment anywhere on this video or any videos on this channel, and make sure you use the word update somewhere in there that gets it to the right place. Also give us some sort of geographical location if you can. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, to get out of stocks and bonds and other risky things into gold, silver, or platinum. That's a lot of opportunities out there to get physical metals, something stable. If you have questions, Jonathan and his team would love to talk with you. There will be a link at the end of the video for you to get some more information. Iowa Granny. The Iowa 911 outage also affected banking. We talked about the 911 outage because they had water get into their ground wires and everything like that. And we talked about how that if the water had gotten into different wires, that would have taken out internet instead of just telephones and 911. But it also affected banking. I was in a local shop yesterday and my card was declined. I wasn't able to remove money from the ATM either. Happy to have a stash of cash. Got an email from the bank later in the day saying to expect intermittent outages until the issue is resolved. Isn't it great when your bank tells you that there's intermittent issues with you accessing your money? Yep. And it's only going to get worse here on out. Tanya in West Yorkshire, UK. I was in my local Aldi today. I noticed that the Cuscino tinned tomatoes had drastically different expiry dates on the two of their varieties. So there's two varieties of these canned tomatoes or tinned tomatoes. One, the peeled plum ones had a July 2026, but the normal chop ones had a very short date of months in 2024. These were both plain with no herbs added, just to make sure I checked the same normal chopped ones, but with the herbs added, and those had 2026 on them. So it's just definitely old stock that they just put on the shelf, hoping that you wouldn't notice. Please do be checking those dates on the canned goods and other goods that you buy from the store. Don't assume that it's fresh just because it's on the shelf. They're playing that game more and more. Normally this type of stuff would have been donated to a food pantry or something like that, but they're putting it on the shelf now. Even with the canned goods and everything like that too. Christina says, no regular cucumbers at Publix. Been a big higher end store in the South. English wrapped ones looked small, and new little cucumbers in bags or little tub like they do with tomatoes. I looked 3 times. Sushi is now a tiny area. 2, I missed it a few times. Not as good either. So cucumbers, and I've seen that pop up in the last few days. A number of you guys complaining about cucumbers out there. So be aware that there are issues with cucumbers. Cisco market report did mention cucumbers, but didn't make it out to be that it's too big of an issue. But if a bunch of you guys are having trouble getting them, maybe it's a bigger issue than what we were aware of. JX says, Medway, Ohio. I bragged last month, less than a month ago, about canned meats prices being the same as last year. Wow, that's so great. Jinx, 28-ounce can of beef, chicken, and pork went from $8.69 to $10.99. We hadn't seen any above the price of $10, but now apparently we are. Some cans had the old price sticker covered by the new. When asked, the lady smiled and said, I should have been there yesterday. Prices are going up, friends, and there isn't really much compassion out there. It's brutal. It's brutal. The prices is just what the prices are, right? Sounds like a Forrest Gump kind of thing. The price is what the price are. Mary says, Central Illinois. I had the chance to chat with the head cook at a local elementary school. On her last food order of the year, she was informed that there was 0 ground beef available of any kind. Never experienced that in 6 years she's been at this job. She ended up going to Sam's to get the meat she needed for the menu. When you have these businesses like Cisco that are dealing with these industries, with these schools and institutions, if they can't get you something, it's a surprise. Usually they work really hard to make sure that they have everything available that you could need as an institution. But sometimes when they just don't have it, you got to find another way to get it. There are some issues developing in the supply chain out there, so be aware of that, friends. Elena says, I was on a trip going from Finger Lakes region to New Jersey. I plan to stock up on some canned beef at Walmart stores that may be on the way. No canned beef at all. Another person talking about the no canned beef, right? Stopped at 3 different Walmart supercenters and was able to score only one last can of Butcher Board brand from one of the stores. No other canned beef at all. The rest of the canned meats look sparse and more of the meat-free alternatives. So be aware that canned meat out there is getting to be a little bit hard to find, and prices are going up. So if you need it and you see it available, you might want to grab it when you have a chance. This is from Big Chase in Los Lunas, New Mexico. We have 2 grocery stores. The produce is half empty. No green beans and a small head of cauliflower was $6.50 for one head. When I checked out, they had no bags for the groceries. That's where we're headed, folks. That's where we're headed. Paprika Pauline says, here in Northern California, for 3 months now, I have been buying produce at various stores, and it's all horrible. Every bit of it. And that's where a lot of the produce comes from the United States, right? It comes from California. And yet they're not getting good stuff even there. Most of the produce is half rotten, very small, or overpriced. I cannot wait until my garden produces everything that I've planted. If you want quality stuff, friends, you got to do it yourself these days, or you got to have friends who do it. So don't be afraid to partner up with friends or people in your area that are growing things. You can specialize in certain things and they can specialize in certain things, and then you can share with each other. That is a good thing. It's called an economy, right? It's specialization, and it's something good that you can all do for each other. So you don't need to grow everything yourself, but have other people that you can trade with, and make sure you grow enough to trade with. L8 says, Reading, Pennsylvania, the lettuce at Walmart was smaller than my fist and for $2 each. Checked at Weiss and it was the same. Everything's getting smaller with the produce. Word on the street is that hopefully these things are going to turn around in the future. That the lettuce and the produce is going to get better as we go into the year. As we go into the summer, I mean, that should happen. We don't really have major droughts in the areas where the crops are being grown, so we should be getting there. But we've had some cold spells, and some areas have gotten too much rain. And so that's the kind of issues that we're dealing with right now when it comes to the fresh produce. We're going to keep an eye on what's happening with the major crops out there as we go into seasons for corn, as we go into the later year with the wheat and soybeans, but word on the street right now is we're a little low on the wheat, and because of that, a lot of the soybean farmers have switched over to wheat, so hopefully that doesn't create shortages there, but we are seeing some turmoil in the markets. Expect prices to fluctuate and availability to be here and there on different things. overall, we're still in pretty good shape. Foreign exports and everything like that are still holding up on food. You're not going to starve tomorrow, but we are seeing some issues out there that we're keeping an eye on. If you have something to share with us, please do keep those updates coming down in the comment section down below. Or if you need to email me directly at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. That is a way to get a hold of me over there. I read all the emails over there. I don't always respond to all the emails. I do get a lot of them from you guys. So if you have something to share, go ahead and pop it on there. If you have a question, you can shoot me an email. But I'll do my best to answer. But sometimes the answer is I don't know the answer to that. But all right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. Keep those updates coming. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what they can do with your retirement accounts, there's a link right there. If you want to check out another video from his channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.